83% of home cooks fail at the exact same thing every night. And it has nothing to do with talent. B-roll, sizzling pan, then cut to burnt food, then cut to frustrated cook. In the next 8 minutes, you will learn the 3 mistakes destroying your food and the 4-part system that fixes all of them. By the end, you'll know exactly why your chicken is dry, your pasta is bland, and your vegetables are soggy. And you'll have the fix for each one. Text overlay, 3 mistakes. 4 fixes. Here is what nobody tells you about cooking. Most people think the problem is their recipe. It is not. B-roll, someone scrolling through recipes on phone, looking frustrated. The problem is that 89% of recipes are written for kitchens that do not exist. They assume you have a $4,200 commercial stove. They assume your oven is perfectly calibrated. They assume you know things the recipe never says. Split screen, restaurant kitchen versus home kitchen. But here is the part nobody talks about. Once you understand what is actually happening inside your pan, not what the recipe says is happening, everything changes. B-roll, close-up of food browning in a hot pan, steam rising. Your food fails for 3 reasons. And the first one is the mistake 76% of home cooks make before they even turn on the stove. Text overlay, mistake number 1. You do not heat your pan long enough. B-roll, someone placing chicken into a lukewarm pan, no sizzle. When you drop cold food into a cold pan, you are not searing. You are steaming. The food releases water. That water pools. And now your chicken is boiling in its own liquid at 212 degrees, not searing at 400 degrees. Animation, temperature gauge dropping from 400 degrees Fahrenheit to 180 degrees Fahrenheit as food enters pan. A commercial stove recovers heat in 7 seconds. Your home stove takes 47 seconds. That gap is where flavor dies. Text overlay, 7 seconds versus 47 seconds. Here is the fix. Heat your pan for a full 3 minutes before anything touches it. Drop a single drop of water in. If it dances, you are ready. If it sits there and bubbles slowly, wait longer. Demonstration, water drop test, droplet skitters across hot pan surface. But fixing your heat problem only solves 1/3 of what is ruining your food. Mistake number 2 is even more common. And it is invisible. B-roll, someone adding a tiny pinch of salt to a large pot. You are under-seasoning by 41%. Text overlay, 41% under-seasoned. A study from the Journal of Food Science found that home cooks use 41% less salt than professional kitchens. Not because they are healthy. Because they are scared. Chart showing, professional, 12g salt per dish versus home cook, 7g salt per dish. Salt does not just make food salty. Salt unlocks flavor compounds that your tongue literally cannot taste otherwise. Without enough salt, your garlic tastes like nothing. Your herbs disappear. Your $18 steak tastes like a $4 cut. Animation, locked flavor molecules being unlocked by salt crystals. The fix is not add more salt at the end. The fix is salt in 3 stages. Text overlay, the 3-stage salt system. Stage 1, 25% of your salt goes in at the very start. This binds to proteins and builds structure. Stage 2, 50% goes in during cooking. This develops depth. Stage 3, the final 25% goes in right before serving. This creates brightness. Split screen, 3 stages of salt raw ingredients, mid-cooking, finished plate. When you salt this way, the exact same amount of salt tastes twice as flavorful because it is working at every level of the dish. But even with perfect heat and perfect salt, there is a third mistake that destroys everything you just built. And almost nobody talks about it. B-roll, someone cutting into a beautifully seared steak, juices flood out onto the cutting board. You are not letting your food rest. Text overlay, mistake number 3, the rest killer. When meat cooks, the muscle fibers contract. They squeeze water toward the center. If you cut immediate